today. You've got one life to live. Love yourself, be kind to others, break free and let your spirit soar. Empower life with Cleopatra will help you awaken the best version of you. Empower life with Cleopatra. Oh, 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 oh. Empower life with Cleopatra. Oh, 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 oh.
Hello, hello. Good evening, wherever you are. In fact, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, more like it. How are you today? Happy new month. Yeah, actually, yeah, today's the 8th, so it's actually still a new month. How are you, everybody? I hope you're okay. Keep joining, keep joining, keep joining. Guys, it's so good to be here tonight, honestly. And I've got my queens rearing up and just like they're fired up, ready to go. So if you are in the chat, put something on the chat. As a matter of fact, I have let me see if the chat, the questions are still there. I did put one or two questions in the chat some days ago in anticipation of the guys that are going to be joining. I am going to put the questions again just so that you guys know that listen, we need your input tonight because the show today is fire. It's fire. And I know everyone has been affected one way or another before. Okay. I'm going to read out the questions first of all. Yeah. Have you ever had to walk away from a long term friendship or relationship? Hmm? What lie shattered your trust and how did it change you? Okay. Do all relationships deserve second chances? What does a healthy friendship or love look like to you? I'm going to paste it in the chat as well, yeah? Okay. Could you be toxic to someone and not even know it? These are for you, my co hosts in the chats. Could you be toxic to someone and not even know it? You know, this passive aggressive behavior kind of thing. Have you ever forgiven someone who didn't deserve it? What would you tell your younger self about choosing people or choosing friends? Guys, guys. Hello, Riri, my darling sis, my mahogany beauty. Gosh, God really created you when He made you, girl. Welcome, my darling. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Listen, guys, keep joining, keep joining. There's so much to talk about. Right, listen, I'm going to go right into it. The questions are now in the chat. All right. Questions are in the chat. So I need you guys to respond, right? Tonight, I just want to let you know that you're in for a treat. So welcome once again. This platform is your fearless safe haven for real talk, raw truth, and revolutionary healing. Tonight's episode is not just a show. Honestly, it's a soul intervention. Let's talk about the pain that hits differently, the kind that comes from someone you trusted. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Betrayals, secrets, and lies. It's not just about toxic love, it's about toxic connections, whether it's your lover, your best friend, your sibling, your sister from another mister, besties who turned enemies, or even fake friends at work. We are going to unpack everything tonight. But unpacking, we're not even sparing any prisoners tonight, okay? Tonight's episode will expose the truth behind toxic connections that steal our peace, that drain our power, or maybe, just maybe, you were the one who stayed silent or ignored the red flags, or you held a secret and now you're living with the cost of that secret that you held. We're going to be talking about that. I want people to just be real tonight, right? Because tonight is for the woman shattered by her best friend's betrayal. Tonight is for the man that backstabbed his friend, or who was backstabbed by his own friend, a ride or die friend. So it's not just women, right? Tonight is for the soul who mistook trauma for love and got burnt. I want people to just, because betrayal does not discriminate. It's not just from a romantic perspective, it can be from a platonic relationship or from a family member. It's familial, it's real, it's something that we've all gone through. I'm sure everyone's gone through betrayal at one time or the other. Let me see who's at the chat. If you're in the chat, apart from Riri, if you're in the chat, put something in the chat for me, right? And my queens, I'm going to be introducing my queens in a moment, right? So here we're not going to just talk about, dodging, stuff just because we're trying to pussyfoot around this. We're going to be talking about, everything as it is. Massive love to you all, my subscribers. You are my royal co-host. Apart from God, you are the ones that give life to this show. So I need you. All right. Thank you so much for always coming back. If you are here for the first time, please, thank you for joining, first of all, but subscribe. I need you to subscribe. This is a new channel. For those who subscribed in October, November, December, January, even February, you need to resubscribe again because this is a brand new channel. The other channel was taken down, right? And I'm trying to hit the 1,000 mark by this end of June. So I need you to support me so that we can smash that mark, right? So like this video, drop a comment, send it to everybody you know, right? Okay. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, Robin, thanks, Robin, for joining. This first step is to understand whether you are toxic to yourself or whether you are willing to give yourself a second chance. Absolutely. Guys, if you want to join me on camera for future episodes, please, if you've got a story to tell, send me an email on empowerlifewithcleopatra@gmail.com. All right, empowerlifewithcleopatra@gmail.com. If you want to be anonymous, don't worry, we can make that happen as well. But listen, some viewers have already started to write their confessions to me, right? And I would have preferred you to come on the platform so you can talk about it. And we'll guarantee you anonymity, but they are sending me confessions and they want me to read the confessions. All right. And I've asked them to, if they have to change the names and all that. So I'm going to be having a series, right? That I'm going to call Confession Series. And I'm going to start, and I'm going to have you be the ones to actually tell whether to advise them because a lot of them are looking for advice about certain things that happen in their lives. Okay. So keep an eye out for that. If you're watching on replay, I'm sorry I'm going on and on about this, but if you're watching on replay, please stick around to the end. You need to watch the end so that the YouTube algorithm would help us and recommend this channel to other viewers as well. Okay. So tonight, guys, have you ever been betrayed by someone you never saw coming? What secret destroyed your trust? Are you healing or are still hiding? Because tonight we are just going to blow the lid off. Seriously. When we're going to blow the lid off gaslighting. We're going to blow the lid off ghosting. We're going to blow the lid off cheating. We're going to blow the lid off backstabbing. We're going to blow the lid off jealousy. We're going to blow the lid off manipulation and emotional blackmail. Amen to that. And for those, those sweet sounding lies that people will tell you, especially, just trying to get something off you. All right. We're going to blow the lid off them as well. Right. Tonight, joining me are three amazing queens that, I mean, you've seen two of them before and they're so good that they have to come back again. All right. And a new queen joining as well. Let's start with Neboboro. She's been here before, as I said before, and she blew us away, as you can tell. She's a runway queen. She's a business coach. She's a model. She's a speaker, transformation advocate. And from London Fashion Week to ITV's This Morning, Never is no stranger to power, purpose, and showing up. Now, my new queen, Ine Duke, aka Duchess Patowski. Hey, you need to explain what that Patowski means, Ine. She's the first time here and she's already royalty, okay? She's a mom, a content creator, the founder of Empower Her Life CIC, and she's a certified multi-income individual. She's here to disrupt the silence and advocate for positive change when it comes to relationships. in friendships. And then, of course, our amazing Cindy, my soon to be co hosts, and a name our Empower Live Royals know very well. She's a practicing Christian. She's an IT project manager. She's a wife. She's a mother of two. She's a mental health advocate. And she's a soon to be author. Her insights are unmatched. So get ready for the rawest talk we've ever had. Welcome, my friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So let me start with you guys. And I'll start with Cindy. Why do people betray the ones who love them the most?
Um, there are different factors to that. Sometimes, it's like fear of vulnerability can be one factor. And another thing is when people take each other for granted, you take the people who love you for granted, and you just believe that because you've been getting away with all sorts and they allow you to get away with it because they love you. And then you just keep doing it. But at that point, I just feel that people should always speak up so that, because if you keep quiet when people are hurting you, you're not helping the people hurting you because they may not even realize that they're doing that to you. So you
Mm,
need to let them know
yeah,
that this is what you're doing. And once they know and then they don't change, that's a different thing. But if
that's
you
right.
don't correct them and they keep doing it, you yourself are also to blame because you're enabling that behavior in them. And some is the need for control. They just want to control the other person and then they manipulate them, they backstab them, they say things um that shouldn't be said about, these are people that you're very close to, and then you're doing this to them, betraying them, and I just believe that if you truly, truly love somebody, that's not something that you do. And for me, from the perspective of a Christian, if you truly have the fear of God in you, I mean, maybe when we were young, we did stupid things. But as we grow up and as we mature, we should get rid of all this, bad
Mm,
behavior. And then,
okay.
because what kind of example are we leaving for the younger generation? And if you're a mother to children, to especially to girls, what kind of example are you setting for your girls? And sometimes, the girls see, children see what the parents are doing. They mirror your behavior. They see
Mm,
exactly what is going on. So if you think you are doing things that they are getting and you're getting away with it, I'm telling you, it's waiting for you in the future when that child will call you out on that behavior. So we
thank
need,
you.
yeah.
Thank you very much. Let me quickly give a shout out to Maureen. Hi, Maureen. Thank you for joining. Hi, Charles, Jan. Thank you so much, Charles. Thank you for joining. So good to have you guys. Now, Ine.
Available.
No, the same question.
Okay, can you repeat the question for me again, please? Is that the first one?
Why do people betray people that they love, or
I mean,
why do people betray those ones who they love the most?
okay. If you love someone, you wouldn't betray that person. We have envy, jealousy is a big would plays a big part.
Hmm.
Insecurity plays a big part, and people have got different personalities. As part of their personalities, they can't um, they can't see you succeed, or they want to be controlling. So based on that, people can betray for different reasons, and some people are could be easily manipulated. You know, so it's not their intention to betray that person, but they were manipulated by someone else whom they think what they look up to betray that person. So someone could just come to someone because they know that you're close to Cleopatra and Ine, they are close. If they want to get through to Cleopatra, they could get through me to you. And then
Mm,
and there could be a way in which they would speak to that person and manipulate that person and unintentionally. they will betray. So we have to be strong-willed. People have to be strong-willed and not to be able to fall prey to things like that. So most importantly, to answer the question is, one, people are not strong-willed. Two, jealousy. Three, people want to be controlling. They want to be on top. They want others to be beneath. And when they find out that I'm rolling with you, and then you are getting more attention than I am. This happens in girls, ladies, amongst ladies and men as well. Why would this person get more attention? And they don't even know why. Sometimes they even know why that this person does the hard work, than they do, but they don't want to appreciate it. They don't want to recognize that this person is doing the hard work. Or jealousy then creeps in. Of course, we know the Bible story, Cain and Abel, as well, where he slayed his brother. Cain slayed his brother. Because why did he slay his brother, Abel? And that was because the sacrifice that Abel gave, you understand, was pleasant in the eyes of God. You understand? So it isn't that one of the farmer and one was a cattle rearer or whatever. But it wasn't that he didn't know that he could give him the best fruit, but the other one gave God the best of the best, and then the other one gave God whatever he liked, and then God said, "Yours, you gave me the best." So, well, God appreciated, and for that reason, Cain, jealous, was hated his brother, and then he slayed him in the Bible. So these are the things we're talking about. So jealousy is a big factor, strong will, that we should have the discernment to know when we're around people and those things begin to come in. So I don't want to go take too much of
Yeah.
my time, but
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, let's keep the answers as short as we can so that
Yeah.
we can answer all the questions that we
Yeah.
have. Yeah, yeah,
No,
never
no. I
want to hear.
mean, again, there's not much to add to that. What sprung out to me was envy, because that's just it. Not understanding that people have their own paths. They're doing the work that they're doing, and sort of thing. So envy, in short.
Okay. True. Okay, so is loyalty love or is it trauma bonding in disguise? When people bond with someone because they're under trauma, not because they really love. So, or they feel pity for someone and they love them out of pity. So, is loyalty love or is it trauma bonding in disguise?
That's
Never.
a strange one. Yes. When is loyalty love? Is well, I don't think it's loyalty is always love. It's a decent thing to do. To if you are in a partnership and work or something, yes, I think those who are loyal to somebody out of desperation, then that is not a good thing. You're loyal to somebody because they have rescued you, or they've taken you in, or they've done something, or because if so, there are many strands to that. So it's either you got into trouble somehow, be it financially or whatever, and somebody kind of rescued you, and you think, oh, I'm going to be loyal to them. If that person is controlling, then there's no point in being loyal in that sense. Of course, you appreciate the goodness, but not necessarily having to be shackled to them. Then in relationship wise, as in romantic relationship, you staying somewhere where you're not really fully engaged. Again, that is self-harm, because on both sides, because you are actually causing somebody else grief. They're thinking something else, you're thinking something else. So you are loyal to people who to your friends, to your good friends, to your family members, and it shouldn't be something that it's not something to be used as a weapon. I think that's
Yeah.
what I'll stop there. Yeah.
Okay, Ine?
It's loyalty, love. Again, how I have the answer in my head, but it's neither here nor there. It could be love. Again, is the personality. Some people are humble, and their humility can turn out to be that. They're just they could be just loyal to you because they are humble as well. So It's neither here nor there. So if someone loves you, they'll be humble and then they'll be loyal as well. If someone doesn't like someone and they despise someone, they don't care.
Mm.
And then, like Neville touched on, if they want to get something from you, then they pretend and then they'll be loyal.
Mm.
They don't like you. So it it could be that if someone likes you, they'll be humble and then they'll be loyal. So it just falls in either ways, yeah.
Mm.
Um
Mm.
so it just depends on what they feel for that person, even in a relationship. Because once the relationship is toxic, no one cares.
Mm.
Loyalty does not come, humility does not come in at some point anymore.
Okay. Okay. Cindy?
Yeah, loyalty and love, they are two different things. And there's a thin line between loyalty and love. And there's
Mm.
something called blind loyalty as well. As
Mm.
in, it's like some people are loyal out to you out of fear, not because they love you.
Mm.
Probably they know too much about you, and you're afraid that, oh, if this relationship will break down, everything about you is going to come out
Mm.
that you don't want the world to hear about. So it's like there's that there's that one. And then there's the fact that you get attachment. You get attached to people through you have like this a cycle of attachment and hurt, and you have somebody who hurts you consistently, and at the same time as they hurt you, then they reward you.
Mm.
They reward you with love, with apologies, with affection. They manipulate you.
That's right.
You understand? So that is not loyalty. There's also the loyalty that is that you confuse. This is in relationship. You confuse intensity with intimacy. Somebody keeps doing stuff, but because let me, your loneliness, let me put it that way. Loneliness, you don't want to be lonely, and you're afraid to let go of that relationship. Meanwhile, you are being abused,
Mm.
you're being manipulated, you're being used, and you know it. And then I think that's where there's this thing. This I hope I pronounce it well. They call it Sjögren's syndrome or Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm.
Mm.
Okay, yeah, yeah, that's the one. Stockholm syndrome.
you
Mm.
know, whereby somebody is in an abusive relationship,
They fall
but
in love with the
there's
abuser.
nothing you can, and they know, they're being abused. There's nothing you can say about this person,
Mm.
and they will still be defending this person, their abuser. They will be defending their abuser, and they are afraid to leave that toxic relationship. It
Mm.
happens with friends as well.
Yeah.
Friends, you're loyal to friends who use money to manipulate you,
Mm.
who use maybe and people who are better, well to do, kind of
Mm.
do this more. I'm not saying it's all of them, but they do it more to people who don't have. You do me a favor. I appreciate what you've done, but I'm not going to be grateful to you for the rest of my life.
Mhm.
Because really, God used you. You should be thanking God that
Mhm.
God used you to bless me, to be good to me. So you shouldn't use that to get my loyalty. You won't get, you can't get honest loyalty from people that way. Loyalty
Mm.
is earned.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Is
That's
earned.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Nice one. Okay. So tell us about a moment you discovered a betrayal from someone you trusted. I have a story that I will, in fact, should I tell the story first
Yes,
before we talk
please.
about it? Okay. So this story, actually, I heard about it just this week, this week that we're just gone. So you had two friends, very, very close friends. They were in primary school together, secondary school together, university. They graduated, they even served in the same state and everything. Okay, so there's one of the friends is actually everything seems to be going for her. She's the pretty one. She's the one guys like talking to. She's the one that aces all her exams. Everybody gravitates towards her. She has everything going for her. This other one, she's, she's okay. So this one that has everything going for her got married, met this nice guy, got married to the guy, got pregnant. She even asked her friends to, come and stay with them because she was looking for work and blah 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 blah. What did this friend do to her? This friend killed her, poisoned her, and killed her. Not only did she kill the this her best friend's husband, on the while the woman's body was still in the morgue, she went home to the man, and the guys were trying to console the man and slept with the man there and there on that day. Slept with the guy. And then as time went on, maybe like a few months later, whatever, she married this guy. This woman that she killed had a baby already and was even pregnant with the second child. So what happened? This girl started seeing spirits haunting her. Wherever she goes, they are all over the place. So she got to a point where she couldn't take it anymore. So she went and consulted this girl who's a content creator. So, and this girl has this spiritual mother. She was like a priestess. So she went to meet her and said, "Look, I don't know, this keeps happening, blah, blah, blah." So the girl said, "You sure you didn't do anything? Because spirits cannot just, start disturbing you like that from nowhere. Are you sure you didn't do anything?" "No, no, no, I don't know what happened." I said, "Okay, problem. I'll take you to my, priestess, so that she can find out how we can help you." She said, "Okay." They went there. As soon as they got there, the woman said, "Get this woman out of this place. I don't want to see her. Get her out of here. I don't want to see her." The guy was like, "What did I do now? Been waiting for you. I've been wanting you to help me." Whatever. The woman went and got a piece of a stick that has leaves on it. I started flogging. I said, "Get out of here. I don't want to see you. You're too evil. Get out of here." The girl said, "What? You told me you didn't do anything. What did you do?" The woman said, "Confess." She said, "No, I don't have anything to confess. I haven't done anything wrong. I haven't done anything wrong." They went on like that for days. As God would have it, this man who the wife died and the best friend married him, saw the thing online on social media and contacted this girl who's the content creator and said, "This woman that you're talking to is actually my wife. I don't know what's going on. I'm confused. So um I'm going to come down because I want you to tell me what's actually happening. I don't understand what's going on." So the girl said, "Okay, come down." So she gave him the address for him to come there. So he came. And then the woman started telling the girl and the guy, like, "This is what's happened," and so on and so forth. She said, "Okay, call your wife." So he called her. She came. So the priestess said to her, "Are you going to confess now what happened?" She said no. So the woman did something, whatever, blew powder on her and all that. And then she had to confess. I think it was maybe truth powder or whatever. Anyway, she had to start confessing. She now confessed that she killed the friend because she was jealous of her because she had everything going for her, and that um, she slept with this man the very first night because she used charm. She went to get a charm to turn his eyes so that he doesn't really know what he's doing. So that's how she was able to sleep with him and even got married to him. So, but how did the family of the man accept you to marry the man? She said she turns all their, hearts or minds or whatever to favor her. And they've been married for 5 years, right? She couldn't get pregnant also, obviously. So the woman now said, "You see your wickedness. The fact that you could not get pregnant is her that said you will not get pregnant, you will not have a child for her husband because you betrayed her. All the people that you keep seeing chasing you and all that, there are spirits that she conjured and the family conjured because they knew she didn't die just ordinarily. There was something that happened, that the ones that are chasing you and all that." And the woman said, "Look, I cannot help you." Because even though she confessed, she still wasn't sorry. She was still saying, "Oh, but I still want to marry you. I still want to, let's just forget about the past." No, said you can't just forget about the past. And the woman refused to help. I said, "Just go with your with your issues. You are not worth helping. So this is real life. This happens in real life. These things happen. So that's the question now that we're
That was
asking.
quite
Like,
extreme.
yeah.
Sounds like
So tell us
real
about
life.
the moment when you discover the betrayal for someone you trusted. Ine?
All right. Yeah, the story you just told sounds like one from Tales by Moonlight, but it is
You would think that, right?
things happen. I mean, mine has been long, long, long time ago. I'm not going to mention names anyway, but it's been long time, long forgotten, and long forgiven anyway. You have this trusted friend, and you do things together, boyfriend and girlfriends era, and then you do things together long, long, long time ago when girls were still girls. Uh, uh, and then you do things together with this person, and then you tell this person about your ex, everything your ex has done for you, and the person knows that you're in a loving relationship with another person, this correct guy, and all of that one, and all of a sudden, whatever, hmm. you what you find out your current boyfriend knows literally everything that has happened in your previous life, and then you ask.
You know.
And then you come back home, and this guy is really so possessive that he just wants, and then you just surprised, like, how do you know about these things? Da, 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 da. And then he wouldn't mention that XYZ, and then you live with this person, you see this person every time because
Mhm.
this person is my friend. You eat, drink, and with this person, and you come back when you have an argument with the person over whatever you're doing, like what I'll be doing tomorrow, he already knows it like now.
Mm.
So clearly, I can't even, when I go somewhere and come back, when girls were girls, you're trying to do some other things. You go and, so where did you go to? This like my boyfriend. And then you say, oh, I went X, Y, Z, and then the person already knows where you, but that wasn't what you were telling you. So everything. So when I discovered that it was this person that betrayed me, it really did hurt me. Actually,
Mm.
she's been looking to reconnect with me a long time, but I really didn't give her that space anymore.
Mm. With friends like that, you don't need an enemy.
Mm.
Never.
Yep. Yeah. Similarly, the friends who would go to when you introduce them to your friends. Well, I introduce, to my friends, and they would go behind and start saying all kinds of things, truth, lies, good, bad, ugly, anything, whatever, and sometimes they went to other places, again, go behind having conversations with boyfriend and saying all sorts. And yeah, so it's those kind of things. And when I was warned, about the particular person, I couldn't believe it, because it's like, as Ina said, this is somebody who we're together all the. What? How? I don't believe you. I accuse them of being jealous of my friendship, you know, and well, eventually, and one of a boyfriend actually said, "Gosh, the way this person speaks about you, I don't even know," but would not expand.
Mm.
Mm.
So of course I didn't know. I was completely oblivious for a very long time until it actually bit me on the face, sadly. And yeah, it's I mean, I think I would say that was probably, when you say you're heartbroken from your even romantic, this was like the heartbreak of all heartbreaks.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shock as well.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It was like the heartbreak of all heartbreaks. Like, in
Yeah.
fact, it actually took me quite a while to get over, and because it was, yeah, it took a long time to get over, because it bred so much distrust,
Mm.
and made me quite unsure of myself,
Mm.
because how can I have a friend whom I thought was my friend? I was as open as anything, as was she. So it didn't make sense. Well, apart from the other bits that was going on behind, because obviously not as open as,
Mm.
I was. And it took a long time for me to get over that, because
Correct.
I didn't gel with girls for a long, early on, before her, because I grew up in a household of men. So I didn't kind of understand. So when I found somebody whom I thought, oh, this is the one girl who is actually similar, and we could, yeah.
They
Oh
backstab.
yes.
They backstab a lot, like they do.
Oh,
It's
oh,
unreal. It's
With,
backstab,
unreal.
front
with
stab,
mine, to
side
be honest,
stab.
I didn't know until someone. It was someone from outside.
Yeah.
In fact, I was shocked that that person knew that and to ask me like, "What are you still doing with this girl? That
Mm.
do you know that you have to be very careful?" It was someone I wasn't expecting to tell me that. That when that person told me,
Wow.
that was when I realized, because some things you tell someone, it's only clear I've told. I've not told anyone.
Mm.
Okay, how did this person know about it? So I then believed
Wow. Wow. Okay, Cindy, I'm looking at the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, for me, I mean, have you ever found yourself in a situation whereby you enter a room and then you have like four women,
silent.
Mm-hmm.
you know, they've already agreed and arranged and decided what they're going to say
oh no.
about you to tarnish your image and
Wow.
to ruin you completely in front of another female in that room who
Mm.
happens to be everything has to do with her because they
Mm.
wanted to ruin my relationship with that person. So I entered the room innocently. I just came, laughing, and this was years ago, many, many years ago.
Yeah.
And then they just started. It's like they were taking it after, it's like a script,
Mm.
taking it after one after the other. And then I just stood there and I'm like, when did this happen? How did this happen? What are you talking about? As in, I was confused.
Mm.
That exactly what is this exactly? Because everything was conjured, everything was a lie. None of what they said happened.
Mm.
So you can imagine, and I was young, I was in my 20s, I'm 50, I'm going to be 56 in August. So it's like, and I just stood there and I'm like, what exactly are you talking about? You see, but the reason why I can't mention names and I
Oh no.
can't tell the exact story because forgiveness have taken place. And when things happen when we're young, you look at it that okay, maybe we're stupid, and and because sometimes it's actually being stupid, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's actually wanting to please another person. So you join and you gang up together to bully somebody. But if you do that now at this
Mm.
age,
Mm-mm.
I'm not sure what kind of forgiveness I can forgive you, but we can never be friends again
Yeah.
because I will never trust you. You've killed the
Trust you.
trust.
Yeah.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
Yes.
Hi, Collins. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. And thanks, guys. Just put the comments in. I asked those questions in the chat. I haven't seen any responses yet to the questions. Do you want me to read them out again? They are in the chats. They're in the chats. Yeah. So please go through the chat, the very, very beginning of the chat, and look at all the questions and just keep responding to those questions. Yeah. Okay, guys. Now, so can you ever rebuild that friendship? I know, Cindy, you said no, it can never be rebuilt again. But is there anybody at all that has ever forgiven somebody after such betrayal? Can you ever forgive, Ine?
Yeah, I can. I'm someone that I've got I mean, I'm very easygoing and all of that. So I tend to forgive easily, but I've been taught a lesson, and I would forgive you, of course, yes, but I won't forget it and I won't get close to you because, again, I can remember back then again in Nigeria, at my place of work, I did forgive my someone that messed up, um, very betrayal as well, and then forgave him, my supervisor at the time, but he turned around not too long the following week to backstab me again to a manager and thereabout. So then one of my colleagues asked me that why would you that don't you know that you don't give people like this a second chance and then get closer to the person? So I learned my lesson based on that. So I would
Mm,
forgive you, but I wouldn't give you that space again. I will give you that long rope and distance.
yes. Thanks for joining, Noel. Thank you for joining. Go through the questions, Noel, and see if you can answer the questions that I put in the chat. Okay, Neville, do we
Yes.
forgive?
Yeah, again, forgiveness is a thing as practicing Christians we do, but we have to be wise about stuff. And it depends on the level of damage that was done. So I have forgiven, I have let the things go. It was, I said before, it took me a very long time to actually kind of process and understand and get over it, that particular hurt. So I have forgiven, and
Okay.
Yeah.
that's that. And but a different set of persons I have, forgiven. It wasn't. It was. Nah, but so yeah, we're kind of fine, but such I wouldn't, as Cindy mentioned, at this age, my great old 58, somebody does that to me, I'm not even looking at you. In fact, I'm not even registering the person. I don't mind even giving you energy of any sort. So yes, I've forgiven. I will forgive. Yes.
Yes, Cindy.
Yeah, I just want to throw this in. Is it the kind of people I fear the most are people, because it's not in the question, but I think I need to throw this in, are people who you offended, right? Maybe 2 years ago. They said nothing.
Yeah.
And these are people you keep interacting with
Yeah.
every day. And then maybe 2 years down the line, or even a year down the line, you say, oh, I just kept quiet. This thing that you did in so and so, whatever, I don't, what you did. And they come up with it, and you're like, what? I talk to you almost every day. We laugh, we smile, and you kept this inside of you. Those people, I can't trust them.
Yeah, I
Right.
agree with
You can
you.
still stay friends, but there'll be a distance, and the friendship can never be the same again, because man, you can kill me. That's what that means.
Can I
Yeah.
can I
I
come in?
agree.
Can I come in there, Cindy? Cindy,
Mhm.
I'll come in there. I'm not disagreeing with you, and I'm not also agreeing with you 100% because I can see the direction in which you're saying it. If it comes as per malicious, then yes, you're right. But where I'll disagree with you is that sometimes you want to maintain friendship, and in the course of maintaining friendship, it's not everything. Like Nigerians will say, it's not every rain you pull bucket. It's not everything you want to complain about friend. You just want that friendship to be happy. So some things you just ignore it. So years down the line, this person still does the same thing. And then at that point you could say, and then maybe they did it in a way that it brings back memory. Then you can say, but you did this years back, and I didn't mention it because I just wanted it to pass. Now you've done it again. That is what I mentioned. So on that note, I don't think you would. That's me.
No, there's some
I
vindictive, there's
agree.
some
I agree. That's
vindictive,
different.
there's some
Yeah.
vindictive ones.
Yes. It's a vindictive one.
That's what
Yes.
I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
vindictive ones that,
Yeah.
it's like, this is something that if you had corrected me,
Yeah.
because if you don't correct me, I will do it to somebody else, or do it to another person, or repeat it even to you.
Yeah.
But if you correct me, I will check myself. I mean, it's like, you see, friendship, we need to communicate, to
Yeah.
be honest. It's not, you see, there's some things that you say to one another that, yeah, it will hurt you. They always say that truth hurts. Let's talk to ourselves. That's how we maintain life. That's how we maintain friendship. That's how we maintain a healthy relationship.
Indeed. Yeah.
We need to tell each other the truth.
Mm.
With love. With love.
Yeah, exactly, with
No,
love. It's
Love.
not like you are
Not
being,
not like that.
you talk to me. If there's a way we do it without ruining the relationship. I have friends who they will tell me the truth.
Mm.
They don't waste time. They will tell you that, no, Cindy, I don't
Yeah.
like, this is what you've done and this and that,
And that's
and
right.
that is it. That does not mean it will ruin the relationship.
Exactly.
But I
I
mean,
agree.
why am I afraid? Why am I afraid to, why are you afraid to talk
Yeah.
to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
means we're not close. And me, I
Exactly.
think
Yeah.
we're close.
Exactly. And to Inez's point, if it's a trivial thing,
Yeah.
you just think,
Yeah,
so yeah.
exactly.
But if it's a serious affair, yes.
Exactly.
And then maybe to Inez's point again, if something happened the first time, you just thought, anyway, I won't say anything. I think it's probably she didn't really mean she didn't mean
Yeah.
that sort of thing. And when it comes up again, yeah, then okay, this is something that you're probably unaware of, and you need to know, because we don't have the 360. We don't see ourselves, so we do
Yeah.
things unintentionally. And if people need to sort of call us to order,
Yeah.
in my case, I would say with love, because you know how sometimes our people is like, I just say it as it is. No, no, no. Yes, by all means, say it as it is, but with love, please. You don't
Yeah.
compound problems by being vicious.
Yeah. Exactly.
I've had a few friends. As a brother, this was a particular guy. He said to me, and this was one of the reasons why I said, okay. He said to me, he said, look, I'm the kind of person that if you offend me, if you hurt me, I won't say anything. I'll still be laughing with you. I'll be joking with you, we'll kiki together and all that. He said, but I will go back and I'll go and sit down and I will plan a way to get back at you. Yeah, I will plan it so well. And then I will come back and I will get you so badly. And
Okay.
then when it starts happening to you, I'll be laughing that, yes, got you back. Do you know what?
Childish
I've
and
kept my
wicked.
shoes in my hand and I ran.
Yes. And please, to our dear audience, that
Really?
is not the way, that is not the option to choose. If anyone hurts you because you don't know how it happened, you don't know why it happened,
Say it with
please
love.
speak up.
With
Do
love.
not go around planning your revenge,
Yeah.
because it could actually backfire on you.
It will backfire. There's
Absolutely.
no, you're planning a revenge, you're pointing a finger, the other one is pointing back
They
at
might
you.
not
So
even know that they've offended you in the first place.
And
They
I,
might not even know that they've
yeah,
hurt you.
yeah, as you said, Neville. I mean, we haven't got a 360 to see what. Sometimes some people just do things carelessly. They don't even know what they've done wrong, and they just do things. You just have to, let them know what they did. If it did hurt you, and some people too are quite every little thing. They're very, you just very emotional or something. Just
Sensitive.
very sensitive.
Mm.
That's the right. Everything you do, just so if you're around people like that, you want to be careful what you do, and they should also learn to speak out, because some
Yep.
people too are not like that. You can say
Mm.
something to them and they don't really say anything, and the same thing you say to a very sensitive person, they'll see it as. So
yeah,
Yeah.
I've had friends who have told me that, it's like that you are too blunt. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
appreciate that. And I try so hard. I'm still trying to make sure that when I'm talking, I try to consider other people's feelings. Yes, I still get it wrong, but please correct me. Let
Yes.
me know. You understand?
Mm.
So because and there's some friends that they when they say something, they'll say, well, Cindy, you said this, but you know what? Because I know you, I know that you don't
Mm.
mean it from a bad
Mm.
place, because I really don't know how to talk, but I'm trying my best.
Mm.
We're all
Okay.
learning. We're all work in
We're
progress.
all working
We're all
progress,
work
isn't
in
it?
progress.
yeah, I love that.
You know? Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's no says thank you for your comment. He says Jesus taught us to forgive. Yes, he taught us to forgive.
And
Mm.
also taught us to be
Amen.
wise
He taught us to be as wise as what?
As a
as a
serpent.
As
serpent.
okay. So we can forgive, but we should also be discerning
Yep.
and know the right from the wrong. And there are certain things that you forgive because, yet, like you rightly said, no, well, Jesus told us to forgive. But you know that I don't think I want to continue in this sort of relationship because there's no going back. It depends on the level. Imagine the story I told about the girl. If the girl was still alive, you think she will want to remain friends with you. She might forgive you because Jesus said forgive, but she will never have anything to do with her again.
Yep. It'll be
Right.
madness to do that.
Yeah, exactly. So do women sabotage each other more than we admit? Do we, only God will help women really. No, but do women do they sabotage each other more than we admit? And
Uh,
if so, how? In what way?
I I don't know. I mean, I couldn't say who does what, which who is more the saboteur, whether women or other sex. I, I don't know. I couldn't say. I mean, I've heard stories, of course, of the sort of things. Men can be quite underhand as well, but I think we have heard more stories of women sabotaging one
Women than
another
men.
because it explodes.
Yeah.
The men one perhaps people are too in shock to actually believe that it happened, that no one is even saying anything, or the guys are not, men are not as expressive as we are. Although they are learning now, I suppose, because they know it's good for their health. Yeah, I think, well, it appears so. I wouldn't say for
Yeah.
definite. It appears so.
Women
Okay.
women do a lot. I mean, I've heard so many stories about that, and I think that stems from jealousy and envy,
Yeah.
more of jealousy and envy, and wanting to be better than somebody, and they have more than you, but what you even have, they want to take it
They
away
want to
from
take it.
you.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't end,
Yeah.
with some women, because they're in a better position, and you are even worse off than them. But everything you've got, they want to also grab and
Yes.
collect from you.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know, so and you're like,
Why?
what's going on here? I'm here envying your position, that you're, things are looking well for you, you are doing good and all that, and you also want to take the little that I have.
Yes. They see your potential and they want to just grab it.
That is it. I
Yeah.
mean, I've had this has happened to me since I was young. Where people, I mean, and it's like, I look at myself and I'm like, what exactly is about me that people envy? There's nothing. I mean, there's nothing. Why do you want to
To
take
you,
everything away from
you can't
me?
see it. You can't see it. It's the X
You
factor
know,
that they don't have, the want.
because I've had that. It's happened so many times. Even it's still happening to me.
I
Sure.
wanted to say, I was at an event recently, wider event with all kinds of people. And one of the ladies there told me about another lady's misfortune. She was meant to go for a job interview, told her friend all about the job, where it is, blah, 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 how much. And she actually went to the interview, and then she got there. They said, sorry, we've already given the position to someone else. And who was that person?
A friend.
Man.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Doesn't
Somebody who
surprise
didn't know
me.
about that position, didn't know about anything, but because you confided against. And I think apparently it happened to her twice with the same person.
And then she's still friends with that person. But she has a problem then.
I think, I'm hoping, because this I only found, this was a few months ago. This was
Oh,
in
dear
April.
Lord.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that her eyes had opened, if they weren't before, if she wasn't denied, because the first betrayal, you always are in shock and denial, because you can't believe it. It's no, this is
Yeah,
not happening.
yeah.
Yeah, but she should have at that time know that, okay, maybe I should be careful about what I say to this person, because I've had friends before where I've been because I'm like, you know, I feel everybody is like me. So I
Yeah,
will want to be so open and everything, because whatever you tell me stays with me to the grave. Like, I will not say anything. Even if you put a gun to my head, I won't say. So I thought my own this particular was like that as well. And then the next thing you hear is, oh, Cleopatra, this is it. And I'm thinking, the only person I told was this person.
Exactly.
How? So, and like you said, I gave them the second chance, and it was still the same thing. After that, you will not catch me say a word.
exactly.
You're still my friend, but I'm sorry, you've betrayed my trust. You
Definitely.
know, fool me once, shame on me or whatever, or shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on you. Like, shame on me. I cannot put myself in that situation anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
the thing about it is that
You
some
know?
of them even trivialize, it, even when they don't see it as anything.
Yes,
Because I think
Yeah,
it's in them. It's
yeah,
exactly.
the second
But
nature.
the Bible says the heart of man is constantly wicked. So
yeah,
it's just, some people can't help themselves.
No, it's the
yeah,
second nature.
Yes, because they're sort
yeah,
of such gossip, because they feel those kind of people are very, very insecure, because they want to
yeah.
be the center of attention.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm bringing you this juicy thing, and people will now say, oh yeah, that person is full of juicy tidbits, and
Mm,
they thrive on that,
Yeah.
forgetting that the negative impact it has on people,
mm.
of the person whose story you are spreading,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
sharing.
Robin says
Indiscriminate.
it starts with mini betrayals,
Yep.
like ordering a salad and then stealing chips from your partner's plate. Forgiving the first time, but not the second.
you're hilarious.
Wait, for sharing though. Those people that, if I,
No, I
if
thought
I
you're just
order
being
something and
mischievous.
it's nice, and I
Being
see that,
mischievous.
my partner has, his orders his own and it's nice as well. I want to taste it now, just to, just in case, that there's something there. Let me eat it first, so that,
You know.
you
Thank you
know.
for bringing this laughter. You're hilarious. Mwah.
Robin, you're a star. That's why we love you. Right, guys, put something in the chat for me. Please put something in the chat. I need to see your presence in the chat.
Yes, please.
Maureen, Nicole, Riri, Collins, Charles, Noel, everybody in the chat. Everybody, put something in the chat. I want to see
Let's know your
questions that
thoughts.
you got in the chat. Could you be toxic to someone and not even know it? That's one of the questions I have in the chat. Have you ever forgiven someone who didn't deserve it? That's one of the questions I have in the chat. What would you tell your younger self about choosing friends or choosing people? It's another question, what does a healthy relationship or a healthy friendship or love look like to you? That's another question. So
Come
there's so
on,
many things
guys.
we need
Get
to talk about.
cracking.
Come
Do
on, put it in
something.
the chat, put it in the chat, put it in the chat. Okay, guys. All right. I mean, I hear you. Okay, so is loyalty then something that you would term an emotional blackmail sometimes, that is dressed up as love? Like we talked about loyalty earlier on and all that. You find out that sometimes in relationships, especially between a man and a woman, sometimes if the man has the upper hand in terms of maybe they are the ones that are bringing the income to the house and all that, um, they can become so narcissistic to their partner, or vice versa, really. Even for women as well, they can
Mhm.
do the same thing. Narcissistic, so much so that they can start emotionally blackmailing their partner to say, oh, maybe the one that's not working or that hasn't got income will start saying to the other guy, is it because I'm not working, or is it because I'm not doing this? Is that why you're treating me like this or whatever? And the man might even be treating them badly, really, because they feel that, or vice versa, because they feel that they have the upper hand. So where are you going? You can't go anywhere because I have the upper hand and all that. So there's this relationship tussle where the woman doesn't, or one partner doesn't trust the other because they feel you're treating me badly, because you feel that you are the one that is looking after me, or that's the breadwinner and all that. And the other one will say, well, I own you because I'm the one that's, So how can you balance that in terms of relationship?
Yes. You see, for me, I would say that in a relationship, for for the woman, for the man, especially for women, because women usually are the most that suffer from financial
Control.
abuse and control. You know, it's like for every individual, just make sure that you are independent.
Mm,
You're married, you are together, but you still need your independence. Because if you are not independent, you find yourself in a position where you are easily manipulated. I'm not saying that you can't. Of course, you do things together. You're married, you're a couple, but there's still some areas of life where you need to find your own happiness. You need to find your own strength, because
mm,
if you're not strong enough, you need to be,
mm,
emotionally, financially strong. If you're not strong enough,
mm,
you will be easily manipulated and you'll be easily abused, you know.
mm.
And also, you need to have confidence in yourself, because
Yeah,
I think some of this is lack of confidence. If you don't
yeah,
have confidence, you will be easily used,
yeah.
you know.
They
Yeah.
call it gaslighting, where one
Yeah.
spouse will gaslight the other person. And for those who do not know what that means, it's a form of psychological manipulation, where someone is subtly made to feel, you're made to
Mad.
feel like, to doubt
As if
your perception of reality
you're the crazy
or
one.
your
You need
thoughts.
to
Mm.
ask
Yes,
yourself, like,
yes, and it's an abuse. It's actually abuse, because
Yeah.
the person is trying to gain control over you.
Coercive
Mm.
control.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
There's gaslighting, there's love bombing you, they just keep,
The
and
love bombing one where you meet somebody and then they throw everything up because like culturally we tend to like that kind of, oh, look at her, it's looking after her. Look at all the
Mm,
things he's buying for you. Yusuf, why can't you just mind yourself and look at the guy? He loved you so much. He's spending so much money on you. He's buying you a MS handbag and this. That's how they trap you. When they trap you
mm,
with your MS handbag and everything, then oh yeah, eat that
mm.
one.
Mm-hmm. It's true. It's true. Okay.
Because
Any
once you
comment?
are, captured and they put you in a nice big gilded cage, you can't go out, you can't see your friends, you can't do anything, nothing,
Mm,
nothing, nothing.
That's it. I think
mm,
it's basically to add to what Cindy said. We should be secure, I mean, independent financially.
Mm,
Think of that. I mean, when we did our podcast the other time, we touched on abuse, different forms of abuse. Anyway, I was
mm,
going through that book, so people can get a book as well. It's important for people to understand that they should be financially independent, and but how, so, and then they should also sought help, because it varies on cultural background as well.
mm,
Some people, and then understanding of where they are,
mm.
so the abuser or the controller, or someone, if someone is narcissistic or thereabout,
mm.
they can, even like you said, Cleopatra, even gaslight you, and you think you're the crazy one. You don't know,
Mm,
or you don't even know. That's a way of manipulating and controlling you. So
mhm.
people should try and seek help. But some people even know that they are being financially abused, or in
They
fact,
don't mind. They're
some
enjoying
people
the money.
are also lazy. Let's also look at it the other way. Some people are also lazy. They don't want to do anything, and they just want to depend on that one. And then when you depend on someone, what does the person do? The person controls you.
Yeah. And also, one final thing is that for anybody who is watching the show, that if you're still single or you're still planning to get married, always look for the red flags. Look out for a narcissistic man, and a man who is insecure. Most
Yeah.
men that are insecure are the ones that behave like this. And
Mm,
if you have a man who is very confident in himself and is, he would encourage you, at least, like my husband is always like encouraging me to do and it just leaves me to do what I do, and
Yeah.
to make, as long as I'm happy, that is happy,
mm.
Exactly.
that's him,
And they're,
so
they're not seeing it as
just,
a competition. You're
yeah,
not competing with them, but
just
some people see
just
Huh?
it
be
as
happy, because I mean, if a man who is insecure is the one that wants to control you and suppress you,
Mm.
and he doesn't want you to do better than him.
Yeah. Some men nowadays actually will
Absolutely.
tell you to your face that I don't want you to earn higher than me. There's another story altogether as well, where the
Yeah,
guy is saying
exactly.
to the woman, I don't want you to earn higher than me. So she got a job that was paying her way, 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 way higher than the man. The guy said to the girl, "You are not getting that job." He says, "But why? This will help our, our income. Help our
Yeah.
lifestyle will be much better." The guy said, "No." They quarreled and quarreled and quarreled. She went for the interview. She actually got the job. The guy went to the company to tarnish her there, and they told her, "Sorry, they've given the job to somebody else."
okay.
And then it was somebody in the company that told her that your husband came and told us that they can't give it to you because so and so and so and so and so. So
Wow.
you have situations like that.
Is she still
Robin says,
married to the man?
I forgave my dad for who he was, but not for what he did. Forgiveness is good. Yeah, you know, uh, I know, not for what he did, because what he did can never be erased. But you have people like that who people are wicked sometimes. How can somebody that you love a job that was really, really that will help you
Good for the
all
family.
for the family, and then you went and you actually ruined it completely just because you don't want her to earn more than you. I think that's love.
Oh,
No.
that's not love.
So
No, of
in a
course
case
not.
like that, though, would you stay in that relationship even though you are married to the person? You are now married to the person.
That would
Would
be
you
hard
remain in
though.
that marriage?
Hmm.
Oh dear Lord. Don't worry, Cleopatra. We've seen a lot of things and we've heard a lot of things. And based on what we do, people come to us as well to talk. But it's just God. We don't even know where to start.
Well,
Exactly.
it's a question I would like to ask. You, even my co-host in the chat,
Yeah.
and you, my co-host here, that my guest.
I wouldn't say
Uh,
Would you remain in a relationship like that where the guy
no.
actually went and ruined your career prospects because this job came with, having a
everything.
car,
No.
traveling, came with all the trimmings that you can get in a
I wouldn't
job,
say
and it
no.
was going to be, and the
I
guy
mean,
came and ruined everything.
ideally,
No.
no. The
No.
reality is a different
No.
kettle of fish.
No, there is no, for me, there is no, I don't see
Yeah,
any reason why.
I don't
No.
see. Yeah.
I mean, how can you forgive somebody like that?
Like that. No, because you'll be resentful.
You've been betrayed. That
You'll
is
be
betrayal.
resentful. Yeah, you'll be resentful.
That is, it's very unforgiving. I mean, how can you? How can you? I mean,
Because
I mean,
I will see.
how can you sleep on the same? How can you sleep on the same bed with the person?
Exactly. I've just seen one thing that's making me laugh. It's somebody wanting to do
Nicole,
something. I would exit stage left
stage
from that
left
type
from
of
that type of
relationship. Do
relationship.
not ignore red flags.
Yeah,
Having your own is important.
Of
Maintain
course.
a level of financial independence. Absolutely,
absolutely,
I agree.
totally.
I agree.
So, is walking away then always the answer, or can some relationships be redeemed at all?
Well, walking away is not always the answer, but where it is, there is the danger that you are going to be harmed psychologically, physically, mentally, financially, emotionally. Then walking away, is the right thing to do. And this is not just the romantic relationship, marriage, friendship, anything, work, whatever the situation is, that it is going to be deleterious to your life, then you must run.
Mm.
I mean,
Period.
if the red flags are obvious, I don't know
Yeah.
what else
Yeah,
is.
because I was going to ask about the red flags now. Like,
Uh,
what are those red flags that you guys think people should be aware of or take note of? You know,
Controlling. Some people can be quite manipulative, and control can be very subtle. Some people can
exactly.
control in a very
Exactly.
subtle way.
mm-hmm.
But you should see it. You should know it. Abuse. We all know physical abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse,
Emotional abuse, everything.
financial abuse. And some people deprive you from isolation from family. We touched on it.
Exactly.
They isolate
Mm-hmm.
friends and family. So I've always known you all, and then all of a sudden I get married to this man, and the Ine that is very vivacious.
Suddenly,
I'm a people person, and then suddenly that Ine now, you're not seeing the Ine.
Mm-hmm.
Since she met this man, what sort of love is that? What's the definition
Mm-hmm.
of that love? Those are signs, and
yep.
as well, there are a lot of red flags out
Mm-hmm.
there that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some of these signs are even from before marriage. You see,
Yes,
when
exactly.
a guy or even a woman start telling lies,
Mm-hmm.
when they lie to you the first time, they lie to you the second time, and then they lie to you the third time, and you're still in that relationship, you're an idiot. Because I mean, people, I'm telling you, because it's like they can't. That means they can't change.
No.
And if you can tell a little lie, the bigger ones are coming, and it's waiting until it gets you into the house, and once he marries you. I mean, it's like you also have some whereby you so it came to my mind now. You are in a relationship whereby a guy is, my brain has gone blank.
No,
Describe
no,
it.
I understand I understand you. You're in a relationship where, the thing is, they come across as honest because you believe them. They are so convincing, they're so sweet, they say the sweetest things, they convince you, they even swear with everything that they hold.
Yeah.
Now
They
I
say they will
remember.
never lie to you, they will never cheat
Now
on
you
you.
remember.
They
Yeah,
will
tell us. Tell us.
Now I remember. It's about, how they isolate you from
Yeah.
friends. Slowly, they start complaining about your friends.
Yeah.
They start saying, "Oh, that your friend is." They complain. They have negative things to say about every single friend that is around you. Then once they finish with the friends, they start with your family. And then they isolate you slowly and gradually. And then they now start talking about, oh, the way you spend money, I don't think you should. And then they start talking about the money issue. And then they go in circles.
Oh, yes.
So those things, you see them before marriage.
Yes.
And if you don't quickly look at those red flags and think, let me take a walk, then you are getting into dangerous ground. And this is where it comes in, where if you are going into any relationship, you need to pray. Pray.
For clarity.
Sorry, for me, as a Christian, you have to pray. You have to rely on God for everything. And you need the spirit of discernment to be able to identify these things. These are the things you pray about. So, I mean, that's it.
Yeah, let me add
Mm,
to that. Let me add to what we've said.
Yeah, but, well,
We're
go on.
talking about relationship, but we're not talking about even in our immediate
Yeah.
family,
Hmm.
friends, and other ones as well. There are some things you see that are red flags amongst people
mm,
that we should be very careful, because it's not about relationship, husband and wife, but partner. Those ones are there, but you can have close friends that some things you see as little as your hair, is beautiful. You've looked at the
mm,
mirror and your mirror tells you that this hair is beautiful, and someone tells you that this wig looks fake.
mm,
What is this kind of wig? Which kind of thing is this one? It's not nice. That alone,
mm.
those are you wear something and your mirror tells you, and people tell you that this thing is fine, but then that person tells you that this thing doesn't look good.
But it's even the way they even say it. It's the way they say it because you can.
Definitely.
So in your own eyes, actually, the wig might be nice, but somebody else who can say, okay, maybe this wig could. But it's a way you can actually say, even if you feel the
And
wig is
you
not
just
nice,
condemn me to the point where you
it
don't.
comes from a place of love,
So those
and
are
you
red
say
flags. Those are red flags, not just in
that.
relationship, also red
Yeah.
flags that you want to stay away from that friendship.
Yeah, absolutely. Nicole says, sometimes your biggest detractors are the ones closest to you.
Yeah.
That marriage will be over for me. Exactly.
Mhm.
And then she said, when my parents first got married, my father wanted my mother to stop working. I'm happy that she didn't do so. And then Maureen says, a relationship where you cannot be yourself or feel free to express yourself is a no no.
Mhm.
Hi, Amaka. Thank you so much for joining. Honestly, it's a definite no no. It's a definite no no. So, are we glamorizing suffering then, especially in women?
I wanted to say something. I wanted just to add quickly.
Right. Okay. Go ahead.
I think maybe Ine touched on something I thought I heard, but the one where they start to control the things that you wear.
Mm,
When it's saying, oh, they start buying you the things, and it's like, oh, you know, yeah, it's nice, but it just kind of, makes you look
Yeah.
mm,
somehow.
mm,
Oh, why are you going? Yeah, but or the one who say, no wife of mine is doing this, or my wife is doing it, we have to make you respectable. Respectable
mm,
in whose eyes? What sort of respectability? What sort of things, and the style of shoes, the this and the that. And the ones who, would say things like, oh, why are you wearing, makeup? Oh, why are you wearing that, lipstick? Who are you trying to attract? I mean, you have me,
Mm.
are you
mm,
going to, so those kind of things that the
mm,
ones that, we should sort of, keep an eye for,
mm,
and
mm.
that isolation as well from family and
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah. Very important.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so like I was going to say earlier, are we glamorizing suffering, especially in women? Why is endurance mistaken for strength? Like women will, especially when the woman has had enough. She will go to her parents or family to say, look, I've had enough of this. This man is gaslighting me, is abusing me, not just physically, emotionally, and all that. And they will tell her, endure. That's what marriage is about. Who told you marriage is a bed of roses? It's a bed of roses. Endure. And blah, 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 blah. Especially if she hasn't got any form of income as well, then
and
she's
if the family are getting income from the person,
exactly the man has built a
because they're
house for them
protecting their
in the
interests,
village.
not the
They
interest
got
of
a
the
house.
child.
The man has bought a car for them
Yeah.
and all that. And she has got like kids already in a relationship as well. The man will say things to her like, "Look at your big stomach. Who's gonna want you anyway? Nobody wants you. Nobody's gonna love you, and all that." So all those sort of things she's going through, should she, continue to remain there? So, and so question is, are we glamorizing suffering, especially in
Well,
women? And
probably
why is
are,
this
yes.
endurance mistaken for strength?
I think sometimes because with again the cultural business, and then they use the biblical thing as well. What God has
Submit.
put together, let no man put
Mm,
asunder. We don't. There's no divorce in our hoo-ha. And the family thing again, it's like, oh, you're bringing disgrace upon me, or you're a respectable woman, you're married to this person, you have everything.
mm,
What more could you want? Who is going to want you again as your second hand? You already have kids. Nobody's going to take you. And
mm,
or if you don't get this kind of comments, you're being lauded for, oh, look at her, she's this stoic woman, she just soldiering on, she's a God-fearing woman, she's doing her thing, she must be, applauded. Some people are laughing behind her back anyway. So I
Mm.
think in that sense, that's a cultural thing and religious thing. They're using it to entrap, people, especially women,
Mm. Mm.
and then making her, at the same time, a saint for enduring the toxicity of her environment.
Well, she's crying every night in a in her bedroom. She's not happy, but she's staying there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Well,
Cindy.
yeah, what I would say, I'm not going to say either, maybe, yeah, I wouldn't say glamorizing suffering, but I would say that we are, um, the cultural background is what affects a lot of, people who are going through those kind of suffering.
Mm.
And, we also need to understand that um, the how do I put this now without, because I'm trying to be careful with my words,
Mm.
because it's a very sensitive one. I'm trying to be very, very careful. We need, in a relationship, when people start, when women are suffering
And they're making
and
excuses.
they are making excuses, sometimes, some of this relationship can be salvaged.
Mm.
It's not all of it
Yeah.
that is completely, it's not all of it that is like a no hope.
Yeah.
Some of
True.
them can be
True.
salvaged, because sometimes because some of it is probably lack of communication, because you find out that most
A
people
lot.
is lack of communication. They don't communicate at all. And once they begin to speak their minds, like some people go for, let me give an example. You go for counseling and then you get to counseling. They say the things that they want the counselor to hear. The real crux of the problem, they never say in counseling. And that's why after counseling, a lot of marriages still break down,
Mm-hmm.
because they
Mm.
don't say the exact thing that is creating the problem
Yeah.
Mm.
in the marriage. So it's a very, very delicate one. But
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Yeah. It is.
but all I
In
can
it.
say is that it's not, there's no hope is lost. You can
Mm.
still salvage a relationship, but there are some that is,
Completely.
Redeemable.
completely, you can't salvage, and you don't want to live in a body bag.
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. In it.
Yeah, I think the fact that we mostly in some cultures we tend to see like a woman should, or they would say woman should submit, and they forget the area where they said the other party should love. That's that's why some people hide under the guise of submission, and that's what some families will say to their children, their daughters, submit, even when the daughter is crying and saying, listen, I've been abused. Listen, I wear the shoe and I know where it hurts. But because the male has got the financial dominance, then sense, and then like you were rightly pointed, probably the male has buys this and that for the family, so they depend or they rely on that finances. On that note, they just say, oh, stay and then endure and all of that. The person is in pain, but they're not seeing where that person is hurting. What they see is what they are getting from that
Mm-hmm.
relationship, from that person being it. So it's like selling, it's like a trade by barter thing. Listen, I've given you
Mm-hmm.
water, you're giving us something in return. So you might
Mm.
not even like in the villages, you see that some people have got 4 5 wives, and you ask, how come? But the little thing that they give to the families of those women, they are happy, they are content, and that's why they
Mm.
want that woman to stay there. And
Mm.
you know, so that pain they don't see it. So again, like Neville said, I don't want to say glamour. Was it Cindy? I don't want to say the word glamorize, the
Mm.
or people don't see that the effect of people just
Mm.
endure it until it gets somewhere,
Yeah.
sometimes nowhere, or sometimes they leave.
Yeah. Exactly. What happened to another guest I interviewed some time ago? If you haven't seen it, guys, my co-host and my guest, there was an interview I did with a lady called Gift Oluchi, who left an abusive relationship. Was exactly the same thing, where she was going through all these abuses and everything. She would tell her family, they would tell her, you are a Christian woman, endure this, that, and the other, and all that. At the end of the day, when it got too much, she left, and she's a better woman for it now. She's doing very well for herself. She managed to single-handedly train all her kids, and they're doing very well as well. So you don't have to remain in a relationship just because people tell you to, or because you want to let the world know that you're in a relationship. Yet every single night you cry yourself to sleep, or you
And
have acts all over.
and
you
then
know
victims are victimized over and over and over again. And
hmm
one thing that I have always said is that even the leaders of religious organizations need to start paying attention to what
mm,
is going on in the marriages of their
mm,
congregation, because
mm.
some of the things they tell them when they go to meet their leaders, it's very scary sometimes. And
Yeah,
you're like, you're not helping that person. You can't tell somebody who is being battered and abused all the time, and then you now try to make that person feel like they're the
it's
one
her
that are
fault.
doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Gaslighting.
Yeah,
hmm
yeah, maybe you are not taking care of your husband enough. Maybe you are
mm,
not doing
mm,
what you're supposed to do. Maybe you are not, or you go to report to your leader that, oh, my husband is having affairs and all that. Oh, maybe you're not servicing him enough. Maybe you're
mm.
not, I mean, it's like we need to pay attention to a lot of things and not jump to conclusion and not make the victims even afraid to talk again. Because that's what
Mm,
happens to some
Yeah,
people. They
yeah.
are victims and then they are afraid to talk because every time they have mentioned what, even their
They
their
shut
mm,
family
down.
members will tell them that, look, you can't, you need to keep quiet about this. Just be
mm,
grateful that you are married.
mm,
And
Yeah.
mm,
all that. So you can't do that to them because these people are suffering. This is what leads to depression, and eventually they kill themselves.
Suicide,
And
mm,
if they don't
mm,
kill themselves, they get
homicide.
killed by the partner. And
mhm.
and so many things. And some of them end up in mental homes.
Mental
And at
institutions.
the
Yeah.
same time, as women are being abused, you find men that are being abused as well. And
Absolutely.
this,
Absolutely.
especially the men's one, are the ones that are worse because they can't even speak out.
Yeah.
Because a man goes to the police station or goes to, and the police are even laughing at them.
Mm,
So how do you expect a man to talk?
mhm.
People are suffering. So we need
Yeah.
to be very sensitive to this issue and try to help people and not judge them and not make them feel like, let them feel that they have somewhere they can go and, speak out
That's
Exactly.
right.
and be honest.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why they go to counseling and they lie at counseling. They never tell the real issues.
Because they
Mm,
have to go back home
Yeah,
with the person.
yeah.
yeah.
Robin says those are the worst betrayals, and he agrees with you. Never comment you made earlier on. Says when you go to others for help and they continue to betray and gaslight. So yeah, they continue to betray and the gaslighting, and then even Nicole says there's still a stigma around divorce. Yeah, even till now, even especially not so much around in the Western world,
Well, no.
in Africa especially. I don't know why they think being married is the be all and end all. And if you're not married, you are irresponsible. If you're not married, you're not complete. And a man has to make you complete before you can be recognized or respected. There was a lady who was talking about the fact that the other day that she was maligned, she was insulted, she was abused, even at her place of work. Her boss wants to talk to her. This boss, she's even older than the boss. The boss will say, "Yes, man." And she'll be looking at it like, hello? Like, and then when she finally got married, we'll have
Mrs.
to, hey, Mrs. So and so and so, good morning. How is the family? How are you? And this one is like, so just because I now got married, now I'm a human being. Now you respect me. Now you see me. All this while, I was not even on your radar. That's why you tell me,
I mean,
you know,
Honestly,
it's
crazy.
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 Wow, what a show have we had tonight. Honestly, thank you so much to you, my amazing queens, my guests, Neville, Cindy, and Ine. Thank you so much. Tonight, we opened wounds, we told truths, we named the pain. But more than that, we claimed our power back because now we know what these problems are. So here's the truth: toxic love is not love. Loyalty without peace is self destruction. Betrayal isn't the end, it's the beginning of rediscovering your boundaries. Secrets can destroy, but truth sets us free. Even the good book says so. No. And lies, especially the ones we tell ourselves, will trap us forever. So it's time we stopped normalizing pain. Healing is loud, boundaries are brave. Choosing you is not selfish, it's survival. So everyone who's been burned, who's been betrayed, who's broken, you are not weak. You are wise because you've learned from your mistakes. You are not dramatic. You're done settling. You'll not tolerate that anymore. You're not alone because we all know now and we've taught you and we are here to support. So let's be women and men who choose authenticity over attachments. Let's cancel this trauma thing, where we allow ourselves to be traumatized because we want to be in a relationship, whether it's platonic friendship or family relationship or husband and wife or whatever. You don't have to remain in a relationship and be traumatized just because you want to be there, so that people don't, look down on you, but you are in pain. Right? Let's break all these evil soul ties and walk away from energy vampires. Call them energy vampires.
Yeah.
People who you come around and they sap you. By the time you hang up the phone or by the time they leave your presence, you're thinking, I feel drained. Feel, let's stop it. Right? So if this episode has touched you, if you've learned something, please don't keep it to yourself. Right? Just drop a comment in the chats, and tell me what your biggest takeaway was tonight in tonight's show, and please share. And like I said, if you have not subscribed before, please subscribe. Right? Anybody else in the chat who wants to say something before I round up, before I say good night to my guests? Okay, so please like, subscribe, and tag somebody for this show, right? And let's hit the 1,000 subscribers together this June, right? So let's change lives while we're doing that as well, right? So I'll leave you with these final thoughts, right? Somebody said this to me some time ago. It says, when you stop dancing for people who wouldn't even clap for you, you take your power back. This is your time. This is your healing, right? And guys, this is Empower Life with Cleopatra. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. Thank you to my lovely queens. Thank you, Ine. Thank you, Cindy. Listen, guys, I told you there's a confession series that's happening. That's gonna be happening maybe sometime in July, August, and all that, where people are sending me letters about their confessions. I would rather they came on the chat on the show to confess it themselves, but they're sending me letters about their confessions. And I will need you, my co-hosts in the chat, to be the ones to tell them what they should do, because they're saying, what will I do? Please advise me, this, that, and the other, right? And I'm going to invite my guests to come on those shows as well, to come and advise them on what to do. So we look forward to that. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining. And until next week, which is going to be another amazing show, that's going to be part 3 of this Girl Talk series. This was part 2. We're having part 3 next week. Thank you so much for joining. Amaka said, even though I joined late, the little I heard is so much. Thank you so much, darling. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Until next week, like I always say, stay empowered, stay beautiful, and be bold, and be a blessing to somebody else this week, okay? Yeah. Thank you so much for joining. I love you all.
Bye.
Empower life with Cleopatra. Awaken the best version of you. Unlock your true potential. Empower your mind, body, and soul. Live with intentions, live with a purpose. Empower your dreams, make it happen today. No matter your age, rise and shine. Live boldly, live authentically. It's your time to rise and shine. Empower life with Cleopatra. Awaken the best version of you. Love yourself, be kind to others, break free and let your spirit soar. Empower life with Cleopatra will help you awaken the best version